All right, traders, it is the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. I'm Matt. This is JC with Empire Algorithmic Trading, and we are here to bring you your weekly review brought to you by VWAP Vision Stock Talk.
It's where the volume weighted average price helps us make sense of the market. So let's get right to it, Matt. It was a big week. It's time for a little weekly review.
Weekly review. You. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Sunday here in the beautiful, sunshiny Midwest, and I hope, Jace, that you are getting the same thing down there in the Southeast.
We've got a little clouds today, but it's hot. It doesn't matter if it's sunny, if a storm's, it's just hot. I mean, that's all there is to say to it. I mean, it is July in Florida, so it's not going to be cool, that's for sure. But we might get a little bit of a cool down in the market. It was a strange week to say the least. We had the indexes hitting all-time highs. We had leaders that were just rolling. But it all just kind of it was is weird. It's just hard to fully explain how strange this week was. But overall, Friday, the S&P, though everything kind of closed down on Friday. For the week, believe it or not, even though we were hitting all-time highs pretty much, or new rally highs at least, across the board, for the week, everything closed down as well. The S&P closed down 0.3%. The Nasdaq closed down for the week just a little bit, just 0.8%. The small caps closed down about 0.6%, and the mid caps closed down about 0.5%, which is a little bit of a bummer, especially since they were looking so good. The reason why, I mean, there's two reasons why my caution flags are starting to really get raised here. But one, we've talked about the bonds before. Bonds are selling off. We're back below the VWAP. This is a concern for us, particularly. The VIX did pop on Friday, as you would expect. But yeah, that's the look. This is the one I'm paying attention to, is the bond market. If bonds continue to sell off with Donald Trump, it's not. We've talked about tariffs being priced in, but that was the anticipated kind of a taco trade, right? Trump always chickens out. Well, that trade might be dead. Because Trump announced yesterday some tariffs that were higher than the Liberation Day tariffs. That was not priced into this market. So there's some weaknesses going on, some new news. We've got earnings coming out. So there's plenty of reason to be cautious, right? So as always, just follow your rules and you'll be fine. But that's kind of the flavor of the general market. We've got a little bit of an increase on the VIX, but everything's right at all-time highs. But the bonds are a big concern.
So it's kind of interesting that if you take a step back and look at everything high here, we've been going hard on a really cool rally, and basically we're right at that tipping point where we could see this thing continue to take off, or like you said, Jace, the flags are kind of starting to show some turmoil, and we might start to see things kind of reverse around a little bit, which is crazy. And it's the market. That's what happens. That's what we get to see. That's the beauty of this.
Yep.
But that being said, that's kind of a look at our overall market. Next up, we always like to take a look at some of what we've seen as our big breakouts or the big movers in the market. And you can get access to a lot of these breakouts. You'll see as we talk through this where and when our algorithm told us to either buy or sell these particular stocks. And if you want access to that, you subscribe over on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading, where you can get access to those algorithmic daily buy and sell signals. Some educational videos where Jason and I actually break down how and why we use these particular signals in our trading strategy, and also just access to a pretty cool little group of traders over there. Again, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. And Jason, that being said, tell me about our stocks, how they've been moving.
It was an interesting week. We had a solid 13 signals this week, and unfortunately, all but five reversed lower. And growth stocks, just in general, just had a rough week. Here's the IBD Innovator 50 growth fund. What this does is it just models the IBD 50. For those of you who don't know, Investors Business Dailies puts a list of the 50 best growth stocks on the market. This fund buys those stocks when it's on the list. And so this is a good bellwether of growth stocks. They had a very negative Friday, down 1.8%, and for the week, down 3.6% for the week. So that just tells you, and we deal in growth stocks. There's no doubt about it. Our screens include 30% earnings per share growth and 30% revenue growth in the most recent quarter. That is not a value play, right? We look for high volatility with high ADRs. So we specialize and we look for the high growth opportunities. And right now, those are getting hit. For example, NXT was a breakout of ours last week. No follow through, selling off right away. Oddity Tech, same thing. It tried breaking out, reversed hard, and continued to sell off. StoneX, similar pattern. Started to trade up, continued to sell off on Friday. And King Cross just didn't even give you a chance. It sold off
Wow.
hard the very following day.
Yep.
Now we have 1 day sell signals, right? Oddity was really close to flashing that sell signal. Anytime a stock doesn't make immediate headway, it raises your flags. There's a couple of flags that you want to watch for. The low of the buy day is very important as well. You want to stay within 1% of that low. If it breaks that, it puts it into a subcategory that has a lower probability of success by a pretty significant margin. I'm talking if it maintains that 1% threshold, it has an 80% probability of closing out as a win. If it breaks that 1% threshold, it has a 30% probability. So it's a very significant difference there. The other stop break that we look for is the 1 day follow through. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I also want to talk a little bit more about sell signals in general. We have a very good friend of ours who owns CoreWeave. And CoreWeave got crushed this week. I think it was down 23% on the week. It was looking really good, actually. It was trying to find support at the 20-day moving average. I remember sending him a text saying, hey, CoreWeave is actually looking pretty tight. I got it on the watch list. I was kind of excited for another opportunity maybe to get in on this one. But it just broke down. And he said, I wish I would have known this was going to happen. And I proceeded to tell him the 4 signals that he missed. So let's just take a look at what those signals are. There's the break of the 10-day. This is the first one, right? It broke out down here and just stayed above the 10-day, found a little support here, broke the 10-day. It broke the 10-day pretty much the same day it hit the algo sell signal. So there's 2 sell signals there. Then it broke the 20-day moving average here, which is another sell signal. And then if you didn't take that one, it broke the low here, and that was down at 148. So it broke the low at 148. If you didn't respect that sell signal, you're holding it at 125. So there was plenty of opportunities for anybody watching that knows what they're seeing to see those sell signals. So that's what you want to look for. The first thing is the 10-day moving average. You have the VWAP sell signal, which we like to focus on, and then you have the further breakdown as well. So it gave you plenty of opportunities. Dave is a pretty good example of that. Dave originally found support at the 20-day moving average, rallied right off of that, but it has since broke all of that. It's flashed an algo sell signal. It's broke the 10 and the 20-day, and it sold off hard, down 11% on Friday alone. Rubric, very similar. This was a stock that we actually traded, that I actually traded, bought it down here, wrote it up, sold it out when it broke the 20-day, and it's continuing. It was setting up. It's looking pretty good, but it's continuing to trend a little bit lower. Same thing with C Limited. It had a nice run. It broke the 10 and the 20-day moving average, and it hasn't done much anything. It's actually trended a little bit lower as well. And it's finding some resistance at not only the averages, but also the VWAP. These are perfect examples of support once broken becomes resistance. Resistance once broken tends to become support. So these are some real world examples that we're seeing of this. And then Palomar, another one, I didn't trade this one, but this was on the algorithm watch list. It broke out down here, flashed an algo sell signal, broke the 10-day, broke the 20-day, and it has continued to sell off. It broke the 20-day moving average at 162. It's currently at 135. So these are very good examples. Transmedics, another similar one. It broke out down here at 95.52, had a wicked gap up, continued to run, rode the 10-day moving average, broke the 10-day and the 20, flashed a VWAP sell signal, 3 combination sell signals. I exited my entire position. That was around 130 is where I ended up exiting. It closed that day at 124. It's currently at 112. So it just gives you examples of, don't get attached to these stocks. Just because they're going up good doesn't mean they can't reverse and come right back down. Look at Niagine. Niagine is a really good example as well. It was running. It flashed a 3 and go, a potential 3 and go sell signal. It broke the 1-day low. It broke the 3.5% threshold. It broke the 10-day and the 20-day all in the same day. So that's about as clear of a sell signal as you can get. That closed that session at 1281. It's currently at 1130. So Monday, another good example of the 1-day sell rule. It broke out. It tried to flash a buy signal. The very next day, it closed down 3.8%. That was the closing price at 303. It's currently at 284.61. Marvell Technologies, same thing. It flashed a buy signal at 626. The sell price was or buy price was 79.97. Closed a one-day sell signal at 77.16. It's currently at 72. So these are all clear examples of following your sell rules will protect you from further losses. Having said all that, looking at all the defensive, I just want to reiterate that it's not all bad, right? There are some stocks that are holding up quite well. Credo is looking really good. It's riding right along the 10-day moving average. It hit an all-time high on Friday. Robinhood did reverse. That's a little bit of a negative candle there, but it's holding well above its 10-day moving average. HSAI actually reversed the trend. It rallied up
Hey.
8.6% on Friday. This was a breakout, one of the few breakouts that succeeded on Friday. That held up well. Roblox is
And
continuing to hold up. Yes, sir.
HSAI looked like it did that on increasing volume too, so that's a very positive sign.
Very positive sign. Good eye there, Matt. Good eye. Very, very, very positive sign there. Roblox, another one that's holding up quite well. Arista Networks is bucking the trend. This one shook me out twice, and I didn't take advantage of the third opportunity. I'm a little disappointed in that, but you know, you can't catch them all. You can't catch them all. And Nvidia is another big reason why a lot of the averages are hitting near all-time highs because it's a $4 trillion company. It has a massive influence on the S&P
Yeah.
500 and the Nasdaq composite. But I brought this up here. It didn't make the watch list because its ADR is too low for us. But NVIDIA hit all-time high. Everest Construction, it continued to move higher. It shook me out. It broke below, and it traded down more than 3% or 3.5% on the one day. I ended up taking a teeny little profit on it, as a matter of fact. But as it is, it's continuing to trade higher. And then lastly, this isn't a stock. This is a Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Bitcoin broke out last week, and
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive. A very nice run up on Friday, up 4%. Bitcoin itself has broken out into new all-time highs. So just take that for what it's worth. I just wanted to throw that in there. But right now, what do we do moving forward, right? We just simply follow our rules. If you have positions right now, you want to watch for those sell signals. Watch for the VWAP sell signal. Watch for the 10 or the 20-day. The 20-day has been pretty consistent with clear level of support pretty much across all the stocks that we're following here. The 10-day, sometimes they'll break, sometimes they won't even touch. But the 20-day I've noticed is pretty much a pretty good one. So I'm going to watch that, particularly for the S&P 500. And we're only 1.7% away from the 20-day moving average. So that could be met on Monday quite easily. So
Yeah.
we'll see what the week brings, but it's definitely a time to just be cautious, follow your defensive rules, treat every new breakout with a little bit more respect, right? We don't want to just go aggressively into everything. Another thing you could do is reduce your risk size, right? Instead of risking 1% of your portfolio up per trade, you might want to risk a 0.5% or 3/4 of a point, or just don't even trade right now. Just let everything settle out, let the market find support. And then once things starts clearing things out, then you can buy those stocks that set up again. So there's a couple of ways to handle it, but definitely right now, you definitely want to be a little cautious.
Yep, just as we always say, keep those losses tight. Make sure that you follow your rules, especially when things start to kind of go this way. I know myself, I've got so much confidence in myself that I like to think that nope, I know what I'm doing. I can beat the market on this one. And just make sure you're leaving the emotions out of the trading. Follow the rules, follow the numbers, and you'll be just fine.
That's right. Well, as always, Matt, happy trading, and we'll see you during Arrow Review.
Absolutely. And thank you, everybody that is following us here, watching us on YouTube or listening on Spotify. Please like, rate, review, follow us there. You can catch us on all of our social media: Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We are going to be giving out our freebie of the week tonight, so make sure you stay tuned there. As always, I'll plug the Patreon again because JC and I are getting ready for that arrow review where we break down all of the potential buy and sell arrows that our algorithm is kicking at us over at Patreon. So subscribe, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. Again, gives you access to those daily buy and sell signals kicked to us by the algorithm, gives you some educational videos and also access to our community of traders. And last but not least, if you want to know more about us, who we are, where we came up with this algorithm and this system, check out our website, VWAPvision.com. That's VWAP Vision.com. And Jace, I will see you for Arrow Review. I cannot wait to get this week started well. And happy trading, buddy.
Happy trading, my friend, and we'll talk to you soon.